There they go into the back. The blue light on. We have a race, and Satnova's beaten Pure Steel out by a length and a half.
Welcome to Talking Trots, hosted by Morts and Michael Radley on Tab Radio, Racing and Sport.
The sensational Sydney sider, Seals to Sam, comes off the back straight. He's a bucket load of alliteration, this fellow.
Scott Bomber Hill will join the boys to look at the Friday night meeting at Gloucester Park, and Hayden King will find the winners for the weekend's racing.
Here comes Quinny. I'm the mighty Queen is 4 deep and letting go.
Sit back and enjoy Talking Trots with Morts and Michael Radley.
I'm the mighty Queen is just in front. Dasher VC can do no more, and the West Australian champion has done it again.
Yes, hello and welcome to another big edition of Talking Trots. And fresh off last week where we spoke to Grant. Normally we get him across the line.
We failed.
We failed. On the big stage with our man Grant over in Queensland. Tell you what, it was a mighty run. And we'll listen to Swayze's half-brother defeating Leap to Fame, but had to carry a tyre wrapped around his wheel for the last 400 or so. So we'll listen to that race a little bit later on. But a big special guest tonight in Corey Peterson. A young trainer on the rise who's got a few new horses into his stable, including the very good Steno, who we'll discuss who's first up for him on Friday night. We'll, of course, chat to Bomber Hill and get all the tips from Hayden with the country meetings over the weekend and leading into Monday and Tuesday morts. But our man Bomber last week started off with 2 5-unit bets, and geez, I'm glad they both got home.
Yes, and I'm sure he was too. Don't worry, Michael. Always good to be here, Inspector.
Yeah,
Radley.
welcome, Morts.
Now, we did fail last week.
Did we? Yes, with Grant.
People that come on this show always win, and I'm sure it'll be no exception for Corey tomorrow night. But we managed to get Leap to Fame beaten, which is...
it's pretty hard to do.
It's pretty hard to do, but we did that. Anyway, it was a good night at GP last Friday night with our man Bomber, plus 5 units for the night, and Hayden steered us into a nice $1.31 at GP, which I think he stayed up all night to find that one for us, so we appreciate that. Looking forward to tomorrow night at GP with the feature race being the Group 3 Retrovision Winter Cup. RAC members save an additional 5% every day at Retrovision, and the Hoist Talk Fillies and Mares Winter feature. But it was a big night last Friday night at Gloucester Park. It was easy in the end for Junior aboard High Price, although he had to be bustled out of the gate to maintain advantage, and once he did, he was a very nice win. Talking about nice wins, Michael, Big Gaza rolling fire in the second for Junior, 155.8 over the 2,130 metres. That was a nice race. A lot of anticipation going into that one, so a very good win. Tenzing Bromack, who was one of the big 5-unit bets. We spoke about him last week and thought this could be his time in. Gutsy win, 27.8 third quarter, and just hung on. It was a great win, and talking about great wins, the old Marvel Galactic Star notched another win. Good to see. Mr. Fantastic was fired out of the gates by Junior there and got to the front, and that was kind of all she wrote there. Watching Our Coin, fancied by our very good friend here, Hayden. He was very, very keen on that one. Upset the favourite, steal the show. And Cloud9 rounded out the card, $2.40 into $1.75, comfortable winner. Friday night at GP, a double to Team Bon and Justin Prentice and Colin Brown, 4 to Junior, and a driving double to Madison Brown as well. Then we went to nothing on the Saturday or the Sunday. No. Monday we went to GP, 4 to Chris Lewis and 2 to Kyle Symington, and Tuesday at Northam, 2 to my man Trent Wheeler, another 2 to Chris Lewis, 2 to Kyle Harper, and another double to Kyle Symington. So wasn't a lot of trots over the weekend, but big 10 event at Northam and or 11 at Northam. No,
11 at Gloucester Park.
And 10 at Northam. Yeah. So plenty of harness racing there, and some good harness racing too.
It sure was. And, it certainly was a good night of racing. Looking forward to this Friday night as well. And our special guest has been waiting patiently on the line. So
Very patient.
Before we get to Corey, Steno joins the Corey Peterson stable. Had a couple of runs here in WA, including a last start win. Let's go back to Friday, the 7th of July, where Steno found the front and was too good.
Days gets to fourth, slipping back at Chan Girl. Stormy Skies the inside, Sunshine Swift the outside. At the top of the straight at Steno. American Armour the favourite, trying to reel in Steno. Don't Be Silly Chili third, American Day. Stormy Skies fight out fourth, but Steno's going to go all the way. And Steno's 3/4 American Armour. Don't Be Silly.
Yeah, Steno upset the favourite American Armour on that occasion. Friday night he's first up for Corey Peterson. Corey joins us on the line. Corey, how are you?
Good, how are you guys?
Yep, really good, Corey, and it must be good for you to get a horse the quality of Steno to come into your stable and ready to race at Gloucester Park.
Yeah, she comes like stable in really good condition, so I thought we'd start her first up. But no, she's a nice mare. She's going to do a good job over here.
Yeah, she sure is in the couple of runs that she's had over here. She's looked pretty good. She's had probably 4 or 5 runs now and won 2 of them. But tell you what, she meets a nice field on Friday night, including a couple from the Team Bond stable in Street Hawk. What do you expect from it tomorrow night?
Yeah, I expect her to still run a good race, but from out there it's going to be a little bit tricky. But small field does help her a lot, so we'll probably just go back and just use her for speed, I think.
She's had 26 starts for 12 wins and 9 placings. She's a 4-year-old mare by Sweet Lou out of a Walton Hanover mare, Lady Waratah, who herself had 36 starts for 20 wins and 8 placings and well over 500k. So very well credentialed, but it is a nice field you meet first up. Master Yossi's drawn the 1, doesn't have a lot of gate speed, but then you've got Street Hawk and Who's the Dad Inside You. So just back off the arm in that one, Corey?
Yeah, I'll speak to Joss and see what she reckons. She knows the horse probably a little bit better than me at the moment. But, yeah, I'd say we just, looking at the field, I'd probably say we just go back with this. We can look close enough and, yeah, go from there.
Yeah, it should be a very competitive race, that one. There's... Hoppy's Way comes out, so you're now into number 6. Steno's only had 5 starts this time in. What's the longer term plan for her?
Obviously, I think the Mayor's Classic and that are going to be her main targets. But just see how she's obviously going and coming through.
How many horses did you pick up, Corey?
I've got 4 extra ones. Okay.
And there, I see a couple. I think Max Legacy's going to be you nominated this week, and another big man. So they're all ready to go as well.
Yeah, another big man's in on Saturday, and Max Legacy's in on Monday GP. So yeah. They've, like I said, they've all come in good condition, race fit. So, yeah.
And you got these horses primarily because of your relationship when you went over to New South Wales.
Yeah. Cam and I built a friendship over there. So, and he just asked if I could take them on, and I was happy to.
So you're only 22. You're only a young fella, 22 years of age, 225 wins as a driver and 69 wins as a trainer. How big's the team currently, Corey?
At the moment, only got about 10 horses. Got a couple young ones, and rest are just older ones that are racing. And the younger ones, did you pick them out yourself at the sales, or were they part of a... Well, one of them... Yeah, I've bred one of them out of my mare I had, which was one of the first horses I trained. And she's actually a half-sister to Minstrel, so she's quite well bred.
That's handy.
So got her, and Just a couple of young ones on the property that we work with.
And training the mighty Manning, who trialled yesterday at Pinjarra. He was pretty good first up in his trial. He needed a bit of a break after a long campaign. How are you happy with the way he's coming through?
Yeah, he's a very, very laid back customer. So I was quite happy with his trial. It wasn't pushed too hard, but he still did it quite easily and hit the line good, which I was quite happy with.
I think you're being very kind because these previous two trainers, Justin and Michael and Kiara, he's a very unique horse, isn't he? He's a bit hard to deal with.
He's okay. You gotta understand him and just work with him a little bit. He gets a bit painful at times.
I think you're being nice compared to what Justin said to me on a couple of occasions. Still with Trots in, which is really good, and
of course, yeah.
Hopefully he comes back. But Corey, in Sydney, how long were you in Sydney, and what did you think of your time over there?
I think I was there just under a year,
yep.
And yeah, I quite enjoyed it a lot. I learnt a lot when I was over there, which was one of the things I was happy with, that I come back with experience, and I learnt from the whole trip. So I was quite grateful to get the opportunity to do that, and yeah, I enjoyed it a lot.
And you're based out of Menangle, the training centre there?
Yeah, I was at the training centre in Menangle, which is where I obviously met Cam, because he was stabled next to me in the barns there. So yeah, just the training centre there, which is good, really good setup.
Yeah, so you've come back and you're obviously trying to build up your stable, and you're happy with everything the way it's going at the moment? Yeah,
it's like everything. It takes a bit of time to get momentum up again. So it'll take time, but I think we're starting to get there now.
Now, Corey, you've got an interesting drive in race 1. Our Lily Lude, who was prepared by Kim Prentice. Now, last start went on a little bit too hard for the lead. Didn't give it up. Looked like it was almost gone, and then kept it, and finished back there in 6th. And the start before it ran 2nd after another quick lead time in Narrogin, and couldn't quite get to the front. So the number 1's scratched. The idea just to get straight to the front here and improve the position?
Yeah, she's a good front runner. I think that's her best go. I think every time she's led, she's run a really good race. So I'd say our intentions would be to lead. And then in race 2, you're on Gordon. Any rough each way chance at all? He's actually racing really good for him. He's probably in career best form. He just needs a decent barrier and a right run, and he'll win one of these races very soon, I reckon. So he's probably one to keep an eye out. Yeah, it's a reasonably even field, so hopefully a bit of luck in running. You might be able to sneak home and grab a place, and then of course you got Steno in race 3, which will be a very interesting race. So looking forward to seeing her. Interesting in that first race, both the Kevin Keys fillies are out, so that's why our Lou goes into the pole position, and probably helps her chances a little bit there. So a couple of interesting drives there. With the first 3 races for Corey. And you got that Castella Delacqua. Yes. First up from over east. That's a half-sister to Act Now. So it's going to be an interesting race. So then behind our Lily Lou will be Spirit of Angels. So should be quite an interesting race. Yep, it's a good way to start the card. Corey, mate, really appreciate your time coming on. Good luck tomorrow night, and hopefully you can find a few winners. Thanks, guys. Appreciate you having me on. Good on you. Corey Peterson there, who's got a few new horses coming into the stable, and tell you what, he's a very good horseman. It's one of the reasons that very young. Yeah, when we were looking for a new trainer for Manning, he was at the forefront of where we were looking, and he's done a good job with him since he's got him. He's a unique horse. He's very
he's cunning and whatever else. And he's
very special unit.
Yeah, he sure is, and he's done a good job for us, Matty. It's great to have him back in the track very shortly. But Corey's done a good job. Trains, I get a Pinjarra down there.
Okay.
Really, and really nice young fella as well. Like, very respectful, but does a really good job. I think he at 22, he's gets horses that probably other people don't want, and he wins the races that he should. So,
and when he came back, I think his first race back was on Western Artera in Narrogin and got the money. So 225 wins as a driver and 69 as a trainer at 22 years of age.
Yeah, I think he's got a big future.
Yeah, I think
particularly as a trainer.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, Morts, big news this week. The Inter-Dominion conditions were unveiled, and they've announced golden tickets for certain races around the country, including New Zealand, Queensland, Victoria and WA. It was great they included us when I was speaking to David Brick in Queensland, and the James Brenner Memorial will be a golden ticket into the Inter-Dominion. So you will go into the top seeds if you wish to go over, and we've made it the James Brenner Memorial. It comes up on like the 13th of October, just to make sure
before the pacing. Yeah,
so it goes Brenner Memorial. 2 weeks into the Stratton, 2 weeks into the Pacing Cup, and then the Inter-Dominion is a few weeks after that. So it gives them the connections enough time to plan if they do want to go over. Not saying that if you have to go over if you get it, but it's just rather than the 27th, we're the choice of the two. And also there's a bit of synergy there, considering James Brennan and also Stratton were the creators of the Inter-Dominion here in 1936. So I think it's great that they've included the Brennan as a golden ticket, along with the Kilmore Cup, the Eureka, the Battle of Beersheba at Menangle.
I thought you were going to say the Battle of Bunbury.
No. The Queensland Cup at Albion Park and the Kaikoura Cup in New Zealand, which is the traditional lead-in race to the New Zealand Cup over there. Part of it, they didn't want for to be Group 1 races. They wanted it to be, $100,000 Group 2 is the Brennan. So, really good that we're a part of that Inter-Dominion series, and looking forward to that over at Albion Park. The last ever at Albion Park, as they're being made to move. The government has taken over Albion Park for the Olympics. So, so the last at the famous creek.
Now, we saw last week there that we managed to get Leap of Fame. I'm surprised we didn't have the trainer of Catch a Wave on. What price both of those get rolled on the one night? Mike?
Yeah, I know, amazing. And particularly Catch a Wave, who led. Thought, he's just going to roll away, and halfway up the straight, Dan was sort of ready to go, and all of a sudden he went, oh no, the stablemate got up the inside and nailed him right on the line. Because I actually read a tweet there, they were tossing up which one Kate was going to drive, and I thought, well surely just going to drive Catch a Wave. That actually showed how good the other one was going.
No, that was just a joke. It was meant to be a joke.
Oh, was it? Oh,
yes.
So sorry, went on. So there you go.
No, it was intended as a joke, and it went over a lot of people's heads.
Yeah, it went over my head because
then it actually turned out that Yambuckian won.
Yeah, because it didn't sound like there was too much sarcasm in the actual tweet. It was fairly straight up and down. But anyway,
it certainly adds a bit more intrigue after last Saturday night.
Well, sure does.
And it's difficult to tell because you couldn't take anything away from Swayze. It was outstanding. So even with the tyre issue, it's difficult to say what the outcome would have been.
I don't think it changes the result, but it certainly gets closer.
So all of a sudden we got leaped. It's just so much more intrigue around the Eureka. Yeah.
And interesting. Ahmed Tabor said that Captain Radishing first up into the Eureka. To me, that's it's got to be very, very hard asked because it's not a sprint race. Even though it's over a mile, it's a tough mile. It's a tough mile.
That's very challenging first up.
I would say that the mile at Menangle's tougher than the 2,200 metre at Milton. Undoubtedly. Especially when they're running But anyway, but that's really, it makes it even more interesting.
Yeah, it should be
a
cracking race.
Yeah,
and that
and
comes up in September?
First weekend of September, and then you got the 3-year-old who just blew them away in the Derby, the Lost Storm. So he's got to be at the Eureka as well.
He'll draw 1 or 2?
Yeah, well, it depends on the makeup of the field, but yeah, he'll draw better. And as we mentioned last week about the Singo now being a sort of a qualifying race, or using as a qualifying race, looks like Shane Young's got to go over there, all things being well. It's hopefully it is, and it'll be great to see him go over and take him on and hopefully get a slot. But even if not, to be in that race means you could be a reserve either way. So I think that'd be a great race. But great result for Shane to go over and then probably tackle a couple of the mares races over there. But I think that'll be fantastic.
Look, it was good for Magnificent Storm to go across.
I think so.
He may have been a little bit below his best. I thought he was given every chance.
I think Hayden drove him on all 3 occasions to give him the best chance, and at different stages in each of the races he loomed. Like the first week when he led, I thought, this is game over, and obviously got beat. But when he let him go down the back, he was sort of in the other race looked like he chimed in and didn't get there. And then when he emerged on Saturday night, looked like he was going to put himself into the race, and probably, as you said, probably just a touch below his best. And you don't have to be much below your best in those races to be big. Yeah, so but
certainly some outstanding horses. So it's always going to be difficult, but he'll be better for the trip and
I think so.
Come back, and he's still got plenty to look forward to. So good. Obviously the Nullarbor and the Retrovision Fremantle Cup. So lots
together after that. So it's going to be interesting to see what sort of horses now are going to be vying for us, because we had a lot of interest from different owners looking to see who the slot holders were to bring horses over, and some of these 4-year-olds that are 5 next year, it's going to be a big carrot to come over and get a slot, then race in the Retrovision's Fremantle Cup.
Certainly will. Looking forward to it. Now, it's that time of year when we now start to roll into the big races, the Pearl, Westbred, and then into the Derby and Nuggets. And
we're starting to see all those, the 2-year-old races are starting to be like the capacity fields, and they're all starting to come back in, getting ready for these big 2-year-old races, which are going to be fantastic. And obviously we're seeing some of these good 3-year-old races, horses coming back as well, getting ready for just going to be and it's a great crop.
The 3-year-old Colts and Geldings.
Yeah,
that WA Derby could be one of the best we've seen when you look at the calibre of horse around.
That's right.
Amazing. And just we've got Wave Rider coming back in race 10 tomorrow night at Gloucester Park for the 2-year-olds.
Yeah.
So we're just Prince of Pain, just starting to see them coming through, the 3-year-olds, and exciting time. I know we say it this time of year always, but this does lead into it.
This is what the calendar's geared for. Coming into the best part of the year, weather starts to get better, the wagering's up. This is where the best racing of the year is designed to be, and that's last year it was really good, that carnival from August through to December, and I think it'll only continue to grow with a few tweaks that we've made. So,
well, we've discussed some of the wagering numbers around some of those particular nights were staggering.
Yeah.
When you compared them to where they were, I think the Western Gateway
through
which
the roof.
was normally around March, April, which went back there, was just a phenomenal betting race. So it's a lot of good racing coming up, and like I said, I think we could see the best crop of 3 and 3-year-old Colts and Geldings for a long, long time.
And I think you've got the best one.
Rolling 5.
I hope it's Rolling 5, but what about Kenny's story? I've got to talk to Kenny. Not a bad second stringer. Like it was more about never ending to start with, and I'm going, what's going on?
But the good thing with being,
Kenny.
The good thing being a second stringer is they actually don't go out there to beat you. They go out to beat another horse. So nothing wrong with being a second stringer, particularly with
we'll talk about him
with ability like his. And of course, with the 2-year-old, with the Pearl and the Westbred Classic, that time of the year, they're just a little bit more mature.
Oh, yeah.
And you just see some really good racing. So lots to
I think that definitely last year benefited a lot of horse, and I think we'll see it benefit, as the year goes on. And you know what? It's going to take a little bit because, trainers now will spell their horses at different time periods and all that sort of stuff getting ready for this. But it gives you, if you're not ready for the Sales Classic in January, February, it gives you, that the best, you don't have to be up for April. Like you're not rushing them constantly to sort of get them up there. You can sort of give them a little bit of time to come through, and I think it's only going to be a benefit. It was last year, and I think it's going to continue to do that.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. Lots to look forward to.
Now, Morts, this segment was brought to you by Loans 1, 2, 3. Car loans, debt consolidations. Who do you see?
And we saw him.
We did.
We saw the nude nut, Steve Sell, and not required.
No, it certainly wasn't on Friday night.
But
loans123.com.au or
1-800-100-100. Still doing things the banks can't.
Yeah, was a guest of Tab Radio on their function on Friday night at Gloucester Park, which yourself and our great friend Ross Fitzgerald from Steel Blue Boots was as well. And I had a good chat to Steve. It was good to catch up with him. I haven't seen him for a little bit, but
he's a good man.
Yeah, really good. He's doing a few other things at the moment as well, not just doing the Loans 1, 2, 3. He's getting his hands dirty a little bit as well.
Looking for things in the ground, yeah.
Exactly.
So he's a good man.
Yeah, no, it was great to chat to Steve, and he said he's not doing much advertising anymore, just Tab Radio and talking trots.
That's all he needs.
What
exactly.
Else? We're driving.
He'll probably just drop the Tab Radio bit and
stick with us. Stick with you, Morts. Stick with the strength.
Yep. No, he's a good man.
He certainly is. All right, I think it's time for a break, Morts, and we spoke about last week with Grant Dixon. Unfortunately, we couldn't get him across the line. Good night racing. Lost Storm was fantastic. And congratulations to the Grahams with Talk Like Motion winning the Oaks. Great drive from Sneaky. He said the pegs are dynamite. I need to get the pegs. He was, I think, 3 or 4 fence and got up the inside and just kept on following through. And good to see Tanya Graham there, who runs Garrard's here in WA. His sister took the family back there, and on the Thoroughbred Central coverage, the whole family was there. It was really good to see them win the Oaks. And Swayze, once he found the front, good drive by Cam Hardy. He just made sure nothing could get near him.
Yep. It was a very good drive.
And Leap to Fame, as we said, wrapped around the tyre, wrapped around the wheel, which caused him some pain. So I'm looking at Grant halfway to the straight, and you could see him trying to move his weight, so it was off the it was off the wheel. But in the end, it was a great performance from Leap to Fame in second. But Swayze, all honours with him, he was far too good.
And he's a half.
They're half brothers,
it's amazing,
fighting it out. So, I'd imagine Swayze will be aimed at the Inter-Dominion there now because he's too old for the Eureka. So his next focus will be the Inter-Dominion. And Jason Grimson going for 3 Inter-Dominions. Who's to say he can't win 3 in a row with 3 different horses?
Yeah, absolutely.
Swayze this year.
No, he's had 6 starts this time in for 6 wins.
Yeah.
And that was a big win last Saturday night. It's a big scalp, Leap to Fame.
Yeah. All right, let's go to the break and let's listen to Swayze winning the 2023 the Blacks Are Fake.
They corner now, less than 200 metres to run. It's Swayze in front. Leap to Fame chasing him down on the outside. Swayze in front. Leap to Fame can't pick him up. Hot and Treacherous deeper. Swayze in front and Swayze scores. Swayze beats Leap to Fame. Hot and Treacherous.
You are listening to Talking Trots with Morts and Michael Radley.
From Skylord, who's struggling to get anywhere near it. Cotton On's out wider, running on, but Rolling Fire had raced away. No third quarter. Rolling Fire's a mile in front of Skylord. On the outside is Cotton On, and going into 4th is Gerardo. Doing it well, Rolling Fire, for a most impressive performance. Rolled all the way, and Rolling Fire won it well by 6 metres to Skylord and 2 metres to...
Yeah, God bless him. The 5-unit bet for Bomber to kick off the night last week. And it was a good victory. 27-6, 28-2 home, Morts. We were there cheering.
And some good advice last Thursday night, just to wait and get the better price.
Yeah, it was $1.70 at that stage, or $1.80, and I got out to 210, 215 and started 205. So, but what about Bomber? 5 units from our man Bomber. The preview went the other way.
They were all on Skylord.
They were all, Silky and Matt.
No, Bomber was very, very confident. And
although I think Richie tipped Rolling Fire. I think Richie was with us.
Yeah, okay.
Richie stuck with us. But, no, it was a good win in the end.
It was a very good win.
Yeah, really good, really pleasing, and hopefully there's more in store for the ownership there, Morts.
You would think so. Well, R. Fitzgerald's in the ownership, so it's guaranteed.
And our Ross Fitzgerald was there once again on the Tab Radio function. And, of course, Ross is steel blue boots. Built for comfort, made for work. Stockist nationwide, but in particular plenty here in WA, Morts, and what a boot they are.
They are a mark of true skill, designed for comfort, durability and choice, backed by a 30-day 100% comfort guarantee, and I've got to tell you, they are comfortable.
Yep.
Whatever you do, steel blue boots are tailor-made to help you do your best. That's why you're always doing your best,
wearing them. They are the...
Sorry, Inspector Radley, it is.
Yes, indeed. They are the best boots. And might have to retrieve a couple after this week. Anyway, it's a big hello to our man Scott Bomber Hill. Bomber, I don't know whether we were as confident as you, but it certainly made me a little bit more confident when you went 5 units.
I'm sort of glad I wasn't actually on the show last week, Mots, because you might have dampened my enthusiasm. You might have dampened my enthusiasm a bit, but
yes.
No, I couldn't see him being beaten. The race panned out exactly as I expected, and he's just out in front, just too good.
Yeah. Once he got that fairly easy lead,
it's always
going to rate him, and of course Junior's in the cart, so that's always going to be a good chance of that happening.
Yep, indeed it is. All right, let's have a look at the first race we're going to have a look at this week to preview. No 5-unit bets I see this week, but that's okay. We'll get 4 out of 4. That's okay. Doesn't matter if they're all 5. Let's have a look at the market for race number 2, the first race we got to look at, and we've got a little bit of fun at $6.50. October Rainers are scratching the 2. Pelagroso at $4.60. Cheer the Major $3.40. Gordon $71. Peter Petrify $2.50 in favourite. Greg Army at $34. Little Happy Fella at $26, and High Price is at $5. Stewie McDonald's got the drive on High Price, the outsider of the 8 runners. Bomber, what do you think of race number 2 at GP tomorrow night?
Yeah, I thought High Price came up the best value, and a race of a few chances, but this bloke, he's always possessed plenty of ability, and I think the penny's now finally starting to drop. He can just fall off the gate here with plenty of speed inside, and hopefully they run it nice and strong, and he's sitting out the back just waiting his turn. I think he can flush Peter Petrify out and get the ride home, and so long as his leaders have done enough work and put a bit of pressure on through the middle stages, he can sprint over the top. He was very good from the breeze 2 starts ago, and then completely dominant from the front last time. So he comes here with plenty of confidence, and it looks a nice race for him if that pans out that way, I think.
Certainly a fairly even race, Bomber. Look there, number 3, Pelagroso, who comes into 2, was on the back of High Price last week. Great drive by Junior, knew the horse was behind, gave him no chance to get out. Cheer the Major, Peter Petrify. There's certainly some good chances in this one, and it was a good win last start by High Price. Out there in 9, that's not a concern, just back off the arm, Bomber?
I think so. It'll be very speed dependent. It could, if they tend to not run it as quickly as I think, then he's probably going to be dead. But I think 1, 2 and 3 will all try and kick through early, and that could put enough pace on to bring him into it late.
So, Bomber, race 2, number 9, High Price. Stuart McDonald, what's the staking plan to continue the good form?
Yeah, just a 1-unit bet as a result of just needing that touch of luck. But at $5, if we get it, I think he can be really strong late.
Yeah, I like it.
All right, that is the second race. I've got to say there's 10 races tomorrow night at Gloucester Park. The first at 5:12, and as Mort said at the start of the show, the features are the Retrovision Winter Cup, Group 3, $50,000, and the Hoist Talk Fillies and Mares restricted feature, and their races 5 and 6 respectively. The next race we got to look at, though, is race number 4, and as we have a look at the market, we got One Smart Fella at $3.60, the Kraken at $41, Carrera Mac 101, Raven Banner is the favourite at $2.30 for Kyle Symington, 5 Master Publisher at $8, Rockstar Rebel at 51. Great to see Nevermind the Chaos back to the track. Gary Hall Jr. takes the drive for the powerful Michael Young stable at 460. Rockable at 71. Then we've got G. Smith at $201. Simply Shaz at 17. What's Up Sunshine $8 and Beat City $21. Bomber, race 4. This is a really good race. Which way are we going?
Yeah, I'm with Raven Banner. He's a brilliant beginner, and I expect he'll just cross straight to the top. And he's led 3 runs in WA and 1-2 with a very close second to the highly credentialed Hector in the other one. Young Kyle is a brilliant front-running driver, and I think he can dictate for over the long trip and just be too classy. It doesn't look to be a lot of pressure. I thought, never mind the Chaos. She's a mare that can go forward, but first up over the longer trip, I don't think they'll really want a gutbuster for her first up. So if we can just cruise along in front and then rip a 56 last half, it's going to make things pretty difficult for them, I think.
Just gone out the back to the patio to have
We've
a
had
beer,
a few audio
Bomber?
issues there, Bomber. But anyway, we can still hear you, so we'll persist. We might actually get you on the phone for the next segment. But, Morts?
Yeah, so race, another very interesting race. Race 4, horse number 4. Kyle Symington on board. He's got a big night in front of him on Friday night, Kyle Symington. He's in good form. From Team Bond, race 4, number 4. What's the staking plan, Bomber?
Yeah, 2-unit bet. I think as long as he's not hammered in front, and as I said, I think never mind the Chaos is the only one that can, then, I'm pretty confident.
All right, we might try and rectify some of this audio issues, yes. But that's what happens with radio. Correct. We'll get Bomber on a more secure line. But Raven Banner from Team Bond at 2.30 is the 2-unit bet. Yes. And I'll tell you what, last week, Morts, we had a double from Team Bond. Tenzing Bromack, who was another 5-unit bet. 5-unit bet. Bomber, got the cash.
That was a tough win.
Yep, Kyle Symington took the drive on that occasion. So Team Bond utilising Kyle in the claim. And what about Galactic Star, the old fella?
It's good to see him win. Good to see him win.
He just continues to keeping on. He obviously loves racing. And... he's got the job done against a really strong field, like Prince of Pleasure himself, Finvara. Obviously, there was an issue with Finvara who tailed right off, but isn't it great to see the old fella going well? There's nothing of him as well. He's not real big.
And when he draws to get his chance, they give him his chance.
Yeah.
They don't try and cuddle him. They just give him his chance to win. And a couple of times now in his last, 3 or 4 starts, he's had a win, so good on him.
Yep, he's now had 132 starts for 34 wins and 39 minor placings, and he's won over 770,000 in prize money. He's won Inter-Dominion heats in Melbourne. He went so good during that Melbourne Inter-Dominion series a few years ago against Tiger Tara. But it's great to see the little fella still racing well. Bettor's delight. They just keep on keeping on. And let's go to the break. Let's listen to Galactic Star pulling out too much for his rivals to win race number 34.
McDonald on the inside, the Mustang, then Blitzen by, and further back out wide himself in the straight. Galactic Star in front in a 28.8. Prince of Pleasure did not have another gear at all. The Mustang the inside, and it is all Galactic Star racing away from the Mustang. Galactic Star wins by 6 metres. The Mustang ahead away third was...
You are listening to Talking Trots with Morts and Michael Radley.
On its way to the front, 28.9. Leads by head to Joe with the flow. Naming Lights down the outside, but he's nursing Cloud9 and it's going well. Cloud9 breaks away from Joe with the flow, and then Naming Lights. Great battle for 4th, but Cloud9 wins it well from Joe with the flow. Naming Lights 4th.
Stewie McDonald there, the trainer and driver of Cloud9. It's only just got into his stable. He's second and then gets the cash on a Friday night at Gloucester Park. Good on him.
And they got the cash too, $2.40 into it was a big go.
Yeah, very good work. Good on you, Stewie. Good to see Stewie getting the cash with Cloud9 in race number 9, the Cowden Insurance. And actually, I think we backed it with our little punting syndicate with Neil Pinner on the night, didn't we?
I think we might have, yeah.
I think it finished the night well for us. We didn't go as good the next day
we donated at Ascot.
At Belt, yeah. Anyway, there we go for Cloud9. Good on you, Stewie McDonald, trainer driver of Cloud9. Now, Morts, This segment is brought to you by the one and only Retrovision, your local WA electrical appliance specialist, where RAC members receive an additional 5% every day on the best price.
That they do, and this weekend, Michael, they'll actually receive on 4 of our best-selling categories, which is French door fridge, coffee machines. We all love a great barista-style coffee. And on dishwashers and audio, we've got 10% off those categories, plus the additional 5.
Oh, outstanding.
Yep. So big weekend at Retrovision, 3 days only. So get in there and just tell them you're a Talking Trots nut or fanatic, like one of Hayden's friends, and you'll probably get an extra little bit more off as well.
Yeah, they'll look after you.
Yes.
Install. Yeah. As they always do at Retrovision, as I said, your local WA electrical appliance specialists and that RAC member. That discount goes a long way, the extra 5% on the best price. All right, let's have a look at the next race. We get a preview, and it is race number 5. And as I have a look at Tab Touch, the Tab Touch market, which was the first market to go up from Tab Touch. And we've got, this is the Retrovision Winter Cup. Appropriately, Morts. We've got the Codebreaker, opened at 270, touched 275 back into 265 from the pole. The Mustang at $8. Prince of Pleasure at $4.20, opened 350, got out to 440, back into 420. Babyface Adder at $11. Patronus Star. 550 into 370, Cordero 51, Galactic Star is at $650, and My Prayer at $151. Bomber. We've got you on a more secure line now. What have you got for the Winter Cup for us?
Yeah, I think this potentially sets up pretty nicely for Prince of Pleasure. I thought the Mustang would have a bit of a look early, and if he crosses, then he's more than likely going to take a sit on the first one there, and that would be Prince of Pleasure. But even if the Codebreaker held up, hopefully the Mustang takes enough, a bit of a sting out of him, and then Junior can chance his arm and roll to the top. The Codebreaker would, he'd be reasonably vulnerable if he was taken on over this trip in this grade, I would have thought. So he might take a sit, and if Prince of Pleasure does work to the top, he's going to take all sorts of beating. I thought initially on face value he was a little bit disappointing last time, but went back and watched the replay a few times, and the stablemate actually collapsed in front of him, and he had to do a bit of work in a 56 and change last half after going pretty early. So I think there's a chance that he can get the top here and then, have a fairly easy time through the middle stages. And if he can dash home in that 56, which he's capable of, he's going to take some catching.
Interesting race, Codebreaker. Kyle Symington on board. As we said, he's got a great book of drives on Friday night. The Mustang, plenty of gate speed. Prince of Pleasure, nice price. Your man, Cody Waldrot on a Babyface Adder.
Fresh from a holiday.
Holiday.
Everyone was up there.
Karaoke, and I've got the...
You mean Hayden were the only 3 didn't go up?
Patronus Star, if what Bomber says may possibly happen, and Prince of Pleasure gets a fairly soft lead and just can sprint home that last lap, it's going to make it a lot harder for him. So it's going to be an interesting start to see how it plays out, Bomber. But race 5, number 3, Prince of Pleasure in the Retrovision Winter Cup. What's the staking plan?
Yeah, 2-unit bet. He certainly doesn't have to lead to win, but I really do think that's where he can end up here if it plays out the way I expect. And yeah, I thought he was a really nice price.
Yeah. Very good price.
All right.
My mate here's got it all kind of upside down, so it's a very good price, $4. We'll leave it at that and move on.
Yep. All right, and the last race we got to preview is the Mares Restricted Feature for Hoist Talk. And as we have a look at the Tab Touch market, we've got Just for Love at $8.50, She's a Bromac at $17, Ideal Charm $151, Beyond the Sea at $4.80, Don't Be Silly Chili at $12, Miss Sassy at $13, Miss Lamar $17. Let It Linger at 15. Our Star Billing at $151. They're the front line. Off the back, we got Alta Queen at $650, Lady Jador at 15, and Cyclone Charlotte at $250. And Favourite. The two emergencies are still in there at the moment, but more than likely come out tomorrow morning. How do you see the Fillies and Mares restricted winter feature going, Bomber?
Yeah, I like this mare in Cyclone Charlotte. I think she's the class, and she's got a fair bit of bottom to her. I can see some fireworks early here, the speed right across the front, so I think there can be a bit going on through that lead time. And she's a mare that's always shown well above average ability, and I think Denny drove her perfectly last time at Pinjarra, where she completely dominated the last 800 in a 55.7. She's shown in the past she goes well enough here. She's got the skill set to be the first one 3 wide from the 1,000 or even catch a ride home, and I think she's definitely the one to hold out. She ran a second here in Group 3 when she split Wonderful to Fly and the ill-fated 18 Carat, and that's pretty good form for this. She's 6 starts here at Gloucester Park, 2 wins, 4 placings, and never ran a bad race. So, yeah, I'm pretty keen. She's our biggest bet for the night.
I look forward to that, Bomber, because it's certainly a very even field outside of Cyclone Charlotte, but of course she's drawn barrier 12, which is, probably the only obstacle, but she's got the class, there's no doubt about that, and trained by Ray Williams, driven by Denny Roberts, who's in great form. So race 6, number 12, Cyclone Charlotte. What are we looking forward to investing on this race, Bomber?
Yeah, she's a 3-unit bet, Maud, so I think it's a classic case of us just being able to get a really good price as a result of the draw, and then she'll be able to offset it.
All right. That is the 4 races we previewed, including the 2 features on the night, the Retro Vision Winter Cup and the Hoist Talk Fillies and Mares restricted winter feature. Bomber, have you got a multi for us on the 10-race Gloucester Park card?
Yeah, I went for a 3-legger, Rad, so I thought race 6, number 12, Cyclone Charlotte, while I think she's the winner, she's a great place price, so we'll throw her in for the place. You can't see how she misses a place. Into race 8, number 12, Without the Tough, big class dropper, this guy, and he can be strong late despite the poor draw again. And then we'll come home with race 10, number 2, Wave Rider. If he's anywhere right, he wins. He's a class 2-year-old, and I think he can dominate these.
Are we going a place without the tar or a win?
Place without the tar. So place, then win.
All right. So that's about $1.30 into $1.85 into $1.50. So that's about a $3.60 return for the all-up of Cyclone Charlotte without the tar, and also Wave Rider, which is great to see the Sales Classic winner back at the races. And Kyle Symington this morning on the show with the boys was his best drive for the night. Wave Rider? Yep, very confident. Yep, very smart horse. Bomber, let's hope our luck continues after last week's couple of 5-unit bets gets home. We haven't got any 5-unit bets this week, but if we can get a couple on the bounce, it'll help the cause, mate. Thanks for your time, and we'll speak to you next week. No worries at all, guys. Absolute pleasure. Have a great weekend. Yep, go the Bombers. Good on you there, Scott Bomber Hill. And, so really interesting cards tomorrow night. Mort's a few of those races, and a couple of a really good contest, but it's really good to see Wave Rider back at the... He was certainly the standout in the early 2-year-olds. Yeah. Another horse I'm looking forward to seeing is in race 9, number 6, Major Perry. Yeah, first up for Team Bond. By Art Major out of Katie. Remember Katy Perry? Yeah. Had 59 starts, 23 wins, won over $500,000. He's very good, Major Perry. Very good. So, what is the market? So big. It's a great acquisition to WA. He's a 4. Yeah. And interesting to see the mark, $1.80. I thought the 220 was a little bit too good to be true, much like $2 for Wave Rider, but they're going to be a little bit in the red for the last 2 races. But yeah, 2 really good horses to finish the night to watch. Great to watch. So it's a good race. It's a good race. The race 9. You got What a Bro, a couple of these older horses, but your man's on El Daytona. It's Lindsay Harper. Yeah, who's drawn the pole. Very fast out. Yeah, Moonlight Drive. But yeah, Major American Armour. Major Perry, he's raced in some of those really big races. Raced in a Victorian Derby, and so he's got to be a great acquisition, and obviously getting ready for the big races at the end of the year.
Yeah, no, that's great
for Team Bond.
So some very intriguing races. As there always is at Gloucester Park on a Friday night.
Indeed. Well, it's time to take a break, and Colin Brown and Madison Brown combined last week, Morts, for the sisters getting the cash in American Armour and Exceptional Armour. Tell you what, she's been a great producer, Armour Express.
Certainly has, and a couple of great winners there by the Brown duo.
Yep, as we go to the break, let's listen to Exceptional Armour getting the cash in the 2-year-old fillies event.
Just got 1.5 metres now on Lenora Jane and goes for home now. Exceptional Armour broke about 4 metres in front of Lenora Jane, and they're clear from Copycat Queen down the outside, and then came back in the centre battling away San Remo Beach, but it's going to be an easy win for Exceptional Armour. Sprints home to score nicely all the way by 5 metres to Lenora Jane. 3 metres away third Copycat Queen. And
you are listening to Talking Trots with Morts and Michael Radley.
Watching our coiners in front from Arden's Horizon and steal the show, and then beat the bank, but watching our coins in front. Arden's Horizon coming, but watching our coins got the lead from Arden's Horizon. Watching our coin doing it well. Hall found the front and he got the money. Watching our coin by 3 metres. Second Arden's Horizon.
Another winner for Gary Hall Jr. and Michael Young in Watching Our Coin found the front, and his main opposition just couldn't get over the top of him, and he got the cash. And Hayden King very confident last week.
I would say Hayden got the cash too. Yes. He was very confident. Very good win from the very powerful Michael Young stable.
Indeed. All right, this segment is brought to you by Bayswater Mazda. Driving is better in a Bayswater Mazda, corner of Guildford and Garrett Roads. And it's not just buying a car, more. It's all the service, the after sale service. It's the pre-sale service. It's the coffee.
That was one of the longest engagements, but the team down there at Bayswater Mazda do an outstanding job. Yep. They've got plenty of quality cars, good range of pre-owned cars as well. The service is second to none. The coffee's fantastic. The team's great, and driving is better.
Yep.
With a Bayswater Mazda.
And you can attest because you drive the big the Mazda 6 Turbo.
Yep, goes beautifully.
Yep,
handles beautifully in the wet too, and there's been plenty of that.
Well, we experienced that on the way to Bunbury.
Yes.
No issue at all.
No, just glides across the
no issue at all.
Road.
All right. A big weekend of harness racing on Saturday night. We've got Narrogin. We've got 7 races on the card there. The first is at 5:56. And then Monday at Gloucester Park, we have another 10 races, Morts, at Gloucester Park on Monday. The first at 11:33. And then we go to Tuesday. And
Bunbury.
We've got Bunbury, the Tuesday meeting, the first at 1:03 at Bunbury. 7 races on the card for Bunbury. So we've got Narrogin into Gloucester Park Monday, into Bunbury on the Tuesday.
When are we back at Pinjarra, Michael?
It'd be the following Monday.
Right.
So they had two weeks off.
Do a bit of maintenance?
Yeah, I'm not too sure. I think they always have they got 50 meetings a year, always have 2 weeks off. Normally it's in December, but to optimise wagering on those for Pinjarra, they've gone to that, and we've taken the 2 Mondays, and so happens every year. They have 2 weeks off, so I'm sure they would have done a few things around the track, but but they'll be back next Monday, Pinjarra. Talking about being back, Hayden King. Chimed in for a little cameo earlier, made sure we got the correct information out there. Welcome to the program.
Thanks. Good to be back.
Yes, it's very keen on watching our coin last week. Got the cash?
Yeah, well, fortunately, the map turned out as I'd hoped, with Arden's Horizon submitting to Watching Our Coin and then Steal the Show working hard in the breeze. So under that circumstance, that was how he could win, and he did.
He was home, a long way from home. You could see the Bond horse was certainly struggling in the breeze, and he was home a long way from home. So you would have been very comfortable in that last lap.
And the one tip from Gloucester Park. We had to wait to race number 8. Take $1.30, but we got the cash. We got the cash.
Barbados, yeah.
I'm tipping it finished a few all-ups as well. Although Luke's Mistake was a really good run.
Yeah.
Not close.
Chopping ground off. Not sure he would have ever got past, but he took some serious headway off the winner.
All right. We got Narrogin on Saturday night, as I said, Gloucester Park Monday and Bunbury Tuesday. Have you got anything from those 3 meetings for us?
Yeah, I've just got one at Bunbury on Tuesday.
Okay.
Fire away.
Yeah, what have you got?
Okay, race 7, number 3, Swagger Man. Trialled up nicely, and he beat home Speedwagon in that trial, who's been going really well. Previously in New Zealand, he did have some standing start experience, so I don't think that's going to be too much of an issue. And he's a pretty nice horse, Swagger Man. So, providing he can balance up close enough, I can see him getting away with this. And he looks the class with a lowercase c, in the sense that there are horses off handicaps who are probably more seasoned, but he has the handicap advantage and he's going to take beating. So race 7, number 3, Swagger Man.
Okay, it's not a bad race, but we have to wait for the last race of those 3 meetings on Tuesday, but it's a day meeting at Bunbury with 4:25, that race on Tuesday. And you're heading to Gloucester Park tomorrow night. Hayden, you're doing the Sky Channel tips?
Yeah, I wouldn't miss it.
Yeah.
I'll be there, and I'll be banging out winners left and right.
Hopefully.
Banging out winners, I like that. So we just need to tune in and have a listen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I did the form on Tuesday night, actually. So there's been a bit change in the last 48 hours. I can see there's a few scratchings.
A couple of scratchings.
I'll have to revisit it tonight, but I've got something for you.
Okay.
I've got some wacky theories. Okay. It wouldn't be a Hayden King.
I was going to say that surprises me, but do you do your form before you look at the race at the price?
Yeah, absolutely. Yep. Every time. I don't want to be
influenced or swayed
in any kind of way by the price. And although we like to think we're impervious to outside influences, if you do see a price, you may question your map or anything like that, and you think, I've got this wrong. But no, you have to believe in yourself.
Believe and succeed.
Yep. So do you have anything for us this week? It's the main reason I come in.
Well, what do you want to talk about?
Well, he's not talking about one of your fables, or
he's got a story. Apparently, now he's known for talking trots. That's his main claim to fame.
Right.
You guys made me, and trust me, I will not forget you.
You're very welcome. We'll have to get some merchandise made shortly, I would think, Michael.
Yes.
Yeah, so Monday at Gloucester Park, I was just having a chat there prior to one of the races, and some guy comes up to me and he says, "Are you from Talking Trots?" And I say, yeah, I do Talking Trots. And he says, "Oh, I recognise your voice." He said, "I thought you'd be a bit older, judging by your voice and also your philosophical musings, but it's nice to meet you." And I said, "You too, buddy." So we've got an extra listener now.
So there we go. 15. You didn't get his name?
No, it was very, very rude of me. I'm hoping he'll be there again next Monday and we'll catch up again. And
it's great. Hope he enjoys the show.
Yeah, that's amazing now. That's your claim to fame. Don't worry about calling Cannington dogs or...
No.
King,
Hayden
Sky Channel. Oh, you're
from Talking Trots.
From Talking Trots.
Yeah.
Maybe that's how you should
introduce
yourself on Friday night at Gloucester Park. It's Hayden King from Talking.
Well, there is a
Hayden King from Talking Trots.
It's Monday at Gloucester Park.
There's a race name.
Yeah, the Talking Trots podcast.
The time-honoured Talking Trots.
Well, I'll be there, so I'll make sure I'll pump it out on the Twitter as well.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Race number 9, I think it is, isn't it?
Wednesday.
Yep.
Monday at Gloucester Park. Race number 9.
4:13. Put it in your diary.
The Talking Trots podcast.
Don't miss it.
Indeed. You can say, "This is my show." when you're doing the interviews.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hayden, it's kind of a big deal.
Hayden King from
the naming rights sponsor.
I actually spoke to someone about the fable you came up with about patience the other day. So I was speaking to my friend about it and how you said that I was impatient. And I said to her, "I think I'm reasonably patient." And she thought about it for a while and she said, "Yeah." And then she thought about it some more and she said, "I don't know if you're patient. I think you just don't care about anything." And she's probably on the money there.
I'm sure you care about something, but priorities though. You don't sweat the small stuff.
No, I think over time I've become very relaxed. You have to do a lot to get under my skin. In fact, I urge anyone to try to get under my skin to see if you can.
So what would normally be a
trigger?
Yeah, something to get under your skin. Not that we're going to go home and practice it and see if we can perfect it, but what would normally be the thing?
I don't know. So, listeners of the podcast, next time you see me, try to do something and see if you get a response.
Okay.
Make me feel something.
Right.
There you go. Hayden, you see if you can get on the goat of Hayden King from Talking Trots.
Yeah.
This will be like a couple of years back. There was a Mick Guerin at an award show in New Zealand said everyone's got to get a selfie with Dexter. So for the entire year, people were just getting selfies. Like they'd be standing there, he'd be driving past, and they go Dexter, and then they'd take a picture. So
I like that.
Yeah, it was really good. So created a bit of interest. Everyone posting their selfies with the double
picture
D.
with Hayden King from Talking Trots.
Some guy at Kellerberry and Trots actually did get a photo with me once. I was downstairs and he said, here, I got to get a photo with you. Send it to Peter O'Neill, and then he posted it on Facebook and stuff as well.
You're a man of the people, Hayden.
He wasn't a Talking Trots fanatic?
Unfortunately not.
Right.
I think he's more of a dogs man.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, if he's sending it to Peter O'Neill, he is.
Yeah.
Peter O'Neill was at Gloucester Park on Friday night with Shaz.
Yep.
Good night. All right, Hayden, thanks for your time. It's been intriguing as always, enlightening.
That's probably too strong a word, but thank you.
A bit weird.
All right, so we've got to work on what gets under Hayden's skin.
Indeed. All right, Morts, thanks for your time.
Pleasure as always,
great
Michael.
to talk to Corey.
Yeah, it certainly was.
Hopefully we found a few winners, and thanks for everyone for listening. Thanks for hope you stuck out the whole show. Thanks for joining us. Until next week, it's bye for now.